Mark Goodman back with you. We got some great videos coming up. Stick around. Top of the hour, though. We'll be right back. Yeah, you've tuned into MTV. Thank goodness. Martha Quinn, who's J.J. Jackson. Hey, pop the collar up. Wear some fake leather jacket. It's MTV. I liked MTV. MTV was like, crack cocaine TikTok before there was TikTok. I don't do the TikTok thing. My buddy sends me a TikTok video. I'll watch it, and then it'll go to the next one, and I'm watching that one. I'm like, out of here. Like halfway through number 2, I'm like, I could be watching this for 45 minutes. It's all pretty interesting. Addictive. I'll leave that to the kiddies. Get on the old TikTok. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Woo, kaboom goes the dynamite, huh? A long week for a lot of folks, maybe a quick for some others. Heck, some folks might be on vacation right now. Thanks for checking us out. The 4 o'clock hour, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. This is kind of weird. It's a Friday. We're expecting rain overnight, and tomorrow, Saturday, it's supposed to rain most of the day. Kind of welcoming it. Like, we kind of need it, to be honest with you. I mean, it sucks it falls on a Saturday. I'd rather it fall on a Monday through Friday, ideally. I'd like it to fall overnight. Start raining about 11 or midnight and stop raining about 4 a.m. So it's even dry in the morning when I go outside. Yeah, I'd like that. But we've had like less rainfall the last 5 weeks than what San Diego averages over 5 weeks. Honolulu, I mean, we've had ridiculously low rainfall. What do you think in the metro area the last 5 weeks? A quarter inch? Some areas 0. I mean, the most any area could have received if they got pelted like, 2 or 3 times at most over the last 3 weeks? I mean, at most. I'm just assuming 2 or 3 times because I got sort of pseudo pelted the other day for about 15 minutes. About 2 weeks ago, a few raindrops landed on my windshield at one point in the day, and that was it. And that's it for me for about the last 35 days or so. So anyway, no, I don't like rain on a Saturday, but we need it. We need it. So, it's kind of overcast outside. And we are expecting rain sometime past midnight and into tomorrow. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. We got a good one. Fletcher. I still think Taysom Hill should start. Mackel will join us in about 12 minutes on the program. Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. We're not a sports talk show. I promise you that. Not going to delve into the ridiculous and break down the third string punter and all this nonsense. It's like training camp. Just really? Going to sit here and talk about the 51, 52, 53rd guy on the roster that never will see the field. It's silly. And it's like every year, I just kind of woke up one day and was like, I love sports, but boy, I don't want to geek out and talk about it for 2 hours a day, just beating the dead horse over and over again, day in, day out. Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. No one's going to you come on the show the next day and say I was wrong about that. Or if they do, who cares? And I love sports. That's why on Mondays, a Martell Monday, Brett Martell joins us for 10 or 15 minutes. Keeps us up to date on what happened over the weekend. Fantasy Friday, Fletcher Mackel, Fridays with Fletch. Fletch joins us. Plus, half the time we're talking about his 40-year-old diesel Mercedes he drives, or last thing he had that he ate that was good, or his maroon or green suit. You never know what we're going to start talking about with old Fletcher. Couple of Yaddy New Orleanians, similar generation. Generation X. I'm kind of in the beginning of it. He's sort of in the middle of it. Anyway, I got all older brothers and sisters. They're all really kind of baby boomers type, the tail end of baby boomer. Anyway, See what I mean? We won't stay totally on sports. But Fletcher Mackel will join us in a few minutes. In an hour, we'll start the 5 o'clock Power Hour on a Fantasy Friday with Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Love getting Michael on the program, always talking about something good. Basically, what Michael's trying to do, I'm going to just kind of be blunt and frank just to make a quick analogy. We're a losing team, New Orleans. The metro region, we're losers. We're not a 500 ball club. We're not a winning ball club. We're not a playoff team. We're not a team that's going to make a deep run in the playoffs. We do not mirror the Saints, the Pelicans, what Tulane's doing right now, what LSU's doing. We do not mirror what our local sports teams do. They do a lot better than New Orleans and Louisiana do as a whole. Michael Hecht's going to join us from Greater New Orleans, Inc. He joins us every Friday. What he does at Greater New Orleans, Inc. is try to get the city to become a winner, where we're not losing year in, year out. I mean, could you imagine LSU? Oh, of course you're going to lose to Alabama every year. Oh, of course you're going to lose to Texas A&M. Oh, no doubt you're going to lose to Georgia. That's every year. We 9-3. There's no conceding. Even Alabama, Nick Saban. In New Orleans, it's Houston, Dallas, Atlanta. Come on. They're a rocket ship. No way to compete. Can't even compete with Austin and Nashville. Michael Hecht's trying to get us winning 500, get us over 500, make it into the playoffs, win a division, go deep in the playoffs, maybe make it to a Super Bowl. Try to do what the Saints did 13, 14 years ago. Try to do what LSU has done 3 times and almost a 4th in the last 20 years. Try to be a winner. Try to be a winner. And not resting on our laurels. I mean, we walk around New Orleans like I'm a native New Orleanian. It's like me saying I'm white, heterosexual, and male. I mean, I had nothing to do with any of that. Me being a native New Orleanian, could have been born somewhere else. Parents happen to be native New Orleanians. I was born here. But we live off the past. We kind of ride the coattails of, French and Spanish, and only 2/3 of our existence has been as an American city, and we're a French colony and a Spanish colony, and just the culture, the mix of people from all around the world, a port city that brought in so many different folks, a melting pot, a gumbo, the architecture, the history, the people, this music, this food, our culture, our love of life and living. That's what New Orleans has always been. We're sustaining the festivals and Mardi Gras and those things from the past. But boy, that 50s, 60s, 70s era where New Orleans was a booming metropolitan area, that's back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. That's in the rearview mirror. The last 40 years, 4+ decades, kind of been spinning our tires or even going backwards. Michael Hecht's, the Sean Payton, the Jim Finks, the Jim Mora. So the winner, the Willie Green, trying to get New Orleans to get to 500, trying to get us winning, trying to get us into the playoffs, competing. Can be proud, stick your chest out, be like, yeah, we can compete against Nashville and Austin, not just get routed, not like 9 out of 10 times, not like 19 out of 20, like 49 out of 50 or 98, 99 out of 100. Michael Hecht will join us in an hour. Frank Brigsten in an hour as well, 5:20-ish. Go to the Riverbend, Carrollton neighborhood of New Orleans. Frank Brigsten will join us from his great restaurant. Hey, every day we broadcast on radio. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. We're also on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. We're on TV till 5:30, Cox Channel 4, Spectrum 333, all over Louisiana. We're on YouTube now. Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground on YouTube. You can check out live streaming on our website, CoreyTalks.com. We do it every day from the Buddy Diliberto, River City's Total Maintenance Studios. It is a Friday. You might need heat. You might need AC. If either aren't working right or worse, not working at all, don't stress out on a Friday. Call the pros. Call the experts. Fair and honest Lucas and the boys at River City's Total Maintenance. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that will come right now. NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. NOLAAC.com. Broadcasting from the Buddy Diliberto, River City's
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore and Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full of part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's Total Maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spots. NOLAAC.com, your cool spots.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Shouldn't you be at Katie's right now? The ultimate New Orleans wind down spot after work. In between lunch and dinner, I mean, they keep rolling at Katie's. You can enjoy all the delicacies on the menu. But a lot of characters roll in there as their day ends. Some it's just starting. A lot of New Orleans characters at Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets. In Mid-City, corner Iberville and Telemachus. Katie's. So good. This guy lives in Mid-City, actually. We're not going to give you his address because we know you'd egg his house, maybe roll it. Fletcher, I still think Taysom Hill should be the starting quarterback for the Saints. Mackel joins us on the program. By the way, that's officially his new middle name, legal. Did it at the courthouse. What up, Fletch?
Not a lot, Corey. I'm actually walking around Mid-City right now as I have to painfully deal with you. No, I'm just kidding. Happy to be here. But you're right. I will say it's easy for me to bang the Taysom Hill drum now because he's not going to play quarterback. They already moved off of that. But I think we're learning now that Jameis has been benched and the Jameis Winston era is over in New Orleans. And Andy Dalton is the quarterback. And while he's okay, he's just not great. So I actually put a tweet up a little while ago showing that statistically, and again, look, just looking at raw stats, stats need context. Stats need to be deeper than just touchdowns, interceptions. I get it. But Jameis Winston was 1-2 this year. Andy Dalton is 1-3. Last year, Taysom Hill went 4-1. His completion percentage was better than Jameis's, close to Andy's. His QBR was the same. I mean, my argument all along has been they don't have an elite quarterback. So this guy is at least a dual threat who showed he could win games for you. He won games when the defense was good, and the defense is really suspect now. But my argument all along to people, and I don't mind like talking about it, people joking about it because everybody has an opinion, is if you don't have an elite quarterback, he's the best of this group. And we'll never know because Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis basically decided he was Sean Payton's football Frankenstein and moved off of him. And so now we're going to ride with Andy Dalton the rest of the way. And look, I think there's a chance they scratch and claw and get back into the playoff race or stay in the playoff race because the NFC South is such trash. But I don't know if they actually get into the playoffs. And if they had maybe just gone with Taysom Hill, maybe they'd be a better team in the NFC right now with all these bad teams. I don't know. It's one of those things I can talk about it now because it's not going to happen. And it's just the ultimate what if, the what if.
I just think, I don't know. I get blown away by it. It's just crazy to me. Same old reasons. There are about 20 quarterbacks in the world. There are maybe 6 or 8 that are elite. There's about another dozen. There are 32 NFL teams. There are about 8, 10, 12 teams that do not have a quarterback, either one that they know they can't win with or one that they're hoping develops and that they probably can't win with. So there's 20 QBs in the world. Taysom Hill is clearly, it's not a maybe he could do it, give him a chance. Let's see, he's 30-something, one of the hardest positions to play in sports. So much to assimilate, so much to do. You know, he's just a wild card that plays sometimes, doesn't play. Full-time starter. NFL teams in about a month would destroy him by just making him throw on you all the time, and you just get destroyed because he wouldn't be able to pick up and read defenses. A great throw like to the tight end for the touchdown would happen, and interceptions would happen all the time. Just real quick, worst of the, you said the worst of the group. That he's the best of the group, I should say. Taysom Hill's the worst of the group. He's not even a quarterback. There's a reason the Saints moved him off of that.
But here's the thing. I know we spend too much time talking about this, but it's fine. It's a good topic to talk about that I don't mind spending time talking about. So if he's the worst, How did he win 7 games as a starting quarterback and have a 7-2 record? And here's the thing. His numbers are better than Jameis's and Andy's. Like, when you say he's the worst, like, what metric are we using?
Well, not Fletch. Hostetler won a Super Bowl.
I know.
Doug Williams won a Super Bowl, right, wasn't the starter the next year. I don't know what to tell you. The team was better. They Sean Payton, there's no pressure. You're not the starter. Breeze is coming back, or another quarterback's coming back. You're not the full-time guy. I mean, it's a lot of different variables to just throw in that his quarterback rating or his win-loss record. But just real quick, I mean, Andy Dalton is a pretty good quarterback. He's doing pretty well. The Saints aren't losing because of Andy Dalton. The Saints aren't losing because of the quarterback position. Could a great quarterback like Drew Brees fix a lot of the woes the Saints have? Of course. But Andy Dalton's not the problem. Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton are like frick and frack. I would say they're around 18th to 23 in the NFL, both of them. I think there are a bunch of teams that would, like 6-7 teams that would love to have either one of them starting for them right now. And there's another 6 or 7, Fletch, that would, but they're like, dude, we got this 22-year-old guy, this rookie. We're seeing if he can develop. So, no, we're not interested in Dalton or Jameis Winston. But he's better than those two guys are better than at least 8, 10, 12 quarterbacks that start in the NFL right now. See, and let me say this. That's where I disagree. I think Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton right now, and look, they're even. I mean, I agree with your frickin' frack reference. Yeah, they're the same.
Separate the two. Now, when you start getting into the tape, I think Andy operates the offense probably a little bit more effectively than Jameis. But to think that Andy is light years better than Jameis, I don't think that's
he operates the offense better, a little more efficient, that kind of thing. Jameis Winston has this, spark upside that can maybe, go to another level. That's right. The difference between the two.
The thing I would say about this is, I think 18 to 23 for both of them is ridiculously high. I would say that right now they are 25 to 32.
Oh, that's terrible. I totally disagree. If they're 25 to 32, Taysom Hill's 68th.
But here's
75th.
The thing. But let me just get, here's the thing.
Maybe worse. You got 32 teams, 64 with backups. Yet Taysom Hill might be like a third string quarterback. He might be like 80th.
So if we just hypothetically went through the league, and we could spend the next half hour doing this and not talk about anything else, and I'm fine with that. If we literally pulled up the map of every team and said, where does Jameis, who's been benched, and Andy, who's been a backup for a couple of years and who has a 1-3 record right now, and you want to have them as 18 is like the 18th best quarterback in the league. So I would say if we want to start talking about guys, you can start talking about Jalen Hurts may win the MVP award this year. Certainly, even with Brady and Rodgers having down years, those guys are in front of him. Josh Allen's an MVP candidate. Patrick Mahomes is an MVP candidate. I could rattle off 10 guys right now that are better than them.
Well, of course. It's not. That's the easy part.
Then the thing is,
it's go pull up the roster of teams like Carolina that have two bad quarterbacks.
Well, here's the thing. Carolina is probably 32. They benched Baker Mayfield. They're playing a guy who was in the XFL. Look, I get it. They're probably dead last. But then when I start looking around, Seattle's in front of them.
Let's move on, because I'll tell you what's as egregious and as terrible as stuff like this with the sports media. Taysom Hill should be the starting quarterback. I'll tell you what's as egregious and as wrong. Flaky, how you guys just bounce around every friggin' week. I swear, one little field goal and you'd be like, Saints are a playoff team, missed field goal. This team's terrible. I've never seen such up and down. Beginning of the season, everybody covering the team. They're a double-digit win team. They're a playoff team. Now the season's over with. You just said a minute ago, the Jameis Winston era is over with in New Orleans. Jameis Winston could be starting in 2 weeks and go on a win streak for 4 straight games, and you'd be saying he's the hero. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen.
But we're, again, of course, no one knows what's going to happen.
But saying Jameis Winston era is over with in New Orleans is insane. That is so premature.
So here's the thing. Jameis Winston is healthy, correct?
Jameis Winston's probably healthy enough to play and will be really healthier in a few weeks, I would assume, in a few more weeks. It's a back. It's something that,
Jameis Winston is healthy enough to practice.
Definitely.
And the head coach said, quote, this is a football decision and an offensive decision that they decided not to go.
To stick with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's done nothing wrong except that one pick six and a couple of other plays. He's had a lot of really good plays, too. Yeah. He's not the problem. The coach is smart not to bench him. He's not the problem.
Let me say this. I agree. I think it's close, but I also look at it and say that if the guy that you touted this offseason, I mean, they signed Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton said, this isn't a competition. I'm here to help Jameis.
I pushed for them to trade for him last year. That was a screw-up of Peyton.
Jameis is the guy. Jameis is our starter. We heard about Jameis. Everybody thought, or a lot of people thought, Jameis could be doing what Geno Smith's doing right now. Geno Smith would be the comeback player of the year in the NFL right now with Seattle at 4-3, and he the highest rated quarterback in the league. But it didn't happen. So again, I think we all change in real time. Like, look, of course we were all wrong. We all looked at this team and thought the defense, it's the same defense the last 2 years that was in the top 10. We didn't foresee the Honey Badger being washed and Marcus May not being any good. I think everybody looked at it and thought, hey,
Honey Badger, geez,
but they still have the same team. They're getting Kaare back. But everybody, this is what I like about sports. You do realize who the odds-on favorite to win the NFC was when the year started, right?
The odds-on favorite to win the NFC?
To advance to the Super Bowl, and it wasn't the Rams last year who won the Super Bowl. The odds-on favorite, Caesars and FanDuel, was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How are they 3-5 right now? Like, everybody's wrong. Vegas is wrong. Vegas had them at 12.5 over and under.
Hang on, Fletch. We got that 32 after break. Coming right back. Don't move.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. for more than 125 years. Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe. Yeah, you right. The sounds of New Orleans. Corey Johnson back at you. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. We'll start the 5 o'clock Power Hour with Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. We'll head to the Riverbend section of Uptown around 5:20. Frank Brigtsen will join us from his world-famous restaurant, Brigtsen's. Right now, visiting with New Orleans native son, Fletcher Mackel, on the program. Hey, Fletch, why can't you break a story every now and then? Do something like Cassie Sherm. She just broke the story that the mayor paid back the $29,000 in flight upgrades.
I know. That's not my realm. You're talking to the wrong twin. He's on set. I just saw Travers say, we got breaking news. She's paying it back out of her personal account.
Yep.
And I'll have more on it on WDSU. Yeah.
I'm wondering where that's coming from. Someone had to have given money or transferred it from the campaign. There's no way it's just coming out of her personal account. But yeah, that's the other Mackel. That's your bro. The investigative report. Cassie Sherm has taken the city by storm, Fletcher. All, BS aside, I've never seen a reporter come in and make such a quick difference, I said it when she was here. This is like 4 months ago. I was like, she's just breaking stories, asking the right stuff, It's what her little pinned tweet says is very accurate. She's here to, to look out for us and all that kind of stuff. And she had about 200 Twitter followers. And I said, she's going to just blow by me, and she has. And she's, closing in on about 2,000. She'll have 10,000 in about a year. She does a great job, man. I've never seen a reporter, and maybe social media has something to do with it. But she's really on the mayor, but in a fair journalistic way. I'm not like a jerk about it or has a vendetta. She actually seems very pleasant.
I would agree with you. She does a great job. She's been a great addition to WDSU, and she's only been here, I think she started in like July.
Yeah,
so, it's been a nice addition.
Yeah, really good job. I'd say she's like a pit bull, but she's pleasant and she does a great job on air, and she's not like emotional. She's not like, I'm out to get anyone. She doesn't have a vendetta. So pit bull seems a little mean, but and maybe it's because she's from out of town, but she has no problem asking the right questions to the mayor over and over and over again.
Look, I agree. I don't know what else to say other than, I think it was a great hire by us. I think she's a good person, does good work, wants to be invested in New Orleans, and I'm glad she's on my team.
Yep, there you go. Fletcher Mackel's with us, Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher, by the way, is known to doesn't drink or drink much at all, and doesn't do any drugs, but I'm assuming a rope broke with someone trying to pull a piano or a safe to a high-rise building, like in a cartoon. Fletcher was whistling, walking down the street, had his coffee in his hand, and got smacked in the head by the safe or the anvil or the rope or whatever they were trying to pull into the high-rise building, because he's still on this Taysom Hill starting quarterback craziness. And Fletcher's a starting pitcher in college. I just don't get it. He's an athlete that understands sports too. It's crazy.
Well, my thing is this. Look, I explained that. The thing I want to explain now about sports, which makes it great, is you and I can talk it till we're blue in the face. And there's times that I can brag. I mean, look, a year ago at this time, I dug up my first tweet. It was right around November that I said CJ McCollum would be a perfect fit for the Pelicans. Portland was going sideways. All the rumors were swirling that they were going to blow it up and make trades and revamp their roster around Damian Lillard going forward. And people hated me for that. People were like, you're crazy, you're stupid, he's 31, he doesn't fit the timeline, he's got $60 million on his contract. Well, guess what? I can kind of pound my chest now and say, hey, I was right. I called one and it turned out right. And now everybody acts as if they thought it was the greatest idea ever when I got blown up on social media for suggesting CJ McCollum come to New Orleans and he'd be a great fit. Now people act as if like they thought it all along. But there's also times when we're wrong. And right now we're wrong on the Saints. I mean, like I said, the people that watch the team are wrong. And I don't know if they're going to crawl out of the hole that they've dug themselves into. And there's nothing wrong with being wrong.
This is funny. I'd love to go, yeah, all you media guys, all of them picking double-digit wins in the playoffs are wrong.
But this is
I think you're being a little too harsh on yourself in the other way. The next three games, Fletch, Raiders, Ravens, who were struggling, now they seem to have their you-know-what together. Pittsburgh's still a question mark. Saints could go 2-1, 3-0, and be 5-5. Who knows what's going to happen? I think media needs to chill out a little bit and quit being so judgmental. Figure it out in about 2 or 3 weeks.
And here's the thing: the Saints, I still know, have been covered this team, for 20 years and hardcore in depth. Obviously, the last few. Like, I know there's a great team in there. There's a great defense in there. Have they showed it? No. The team that won the most games during the regular season to 20, the second most in the regular season, is still 98% the same group. So I agree with you. They could pull it out, but all the self-inflicted wounds, it's hard right now to say they're going to do it until they clean game, get back on track, then maybe go or get Baltimore on Monday, then go to Pittsburgh. You're right. If they even their record at 5-5 and start to look like the team that we saw from 17 to 21, then I'll say, you know what? You're right. Maybe we were too optimistic, but maybe they're going to scratch and claw and get into the playoffs at 9-8 when the division is so bad. But the point I always make, because I love great sports discussion, is in New York City, I have friends that work in New York. They were destroying the Jets and the Giants, and now the Jets and the Giants are 5-1 and 4-2.
That's crazy.
People in Tampa were pounding their chest, telling me it's Brady's last ride. They're the favorites. He came back for one more run. All the national people were picking them, and now they're 3-5. And so it's like people are right, people are wrong in every market. It's not
look, it's a crazy NFL. I think all you sports people need to freak out. Stop all the Jameis Winston era's over. Saints season's done. All this. It's if the Saints win, and I think Atlanta loses, the Saints are in first place in the division. I think. So
it's something crazy. And you're right.
It's silly.
The good news is the division is bad. Now,
NFC, NFL is bad. The NFL is just real mediocre. It's wide open.
Well, let me say this. This is what the NFL wants. The NFL, unlike other sports,
they're loving this.
Where teams are really bad or really good, the NFL has created amazing parity that keeps 25 of 32 teams in it until the bitter end. Whether it's by design, but you never know how the design's going to play out. You just know that, hey, there's going to be a lot of parity and a lot of evenness. There's very few teams that are going to do what the Eagles are doing right now or what the Bills are doing right now in running away kind of with the AFC and the NFC. There's also very few teams that are going to be just ridiculously awful bad.
No, you're right. You're right.
But the thing is, it keeps fans involved. It keeps
it is. It's parity right now.
Football involved.
Yep.
That's what they want.
Yep. No. Hang on though, Fletch. Hang on. We got to shift gears because I got too many topics and not enough time. Unless you can go to the top of the hour.
Sure, I'll stay. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you can go to the top of the hour, continue your thought about parity in the league and what they want.
So, no, I think that there's parity in the league, and I certainly think that the Saints can get back into it. And again, that's what makes the NFL a good product right now. Whether you think it's good or bad, it's a product that people are invested in because there's so many teams that are in it. And again, though, the one thing that I keep getting back to, though, with the New Orleans Saints is I double down on Taysom. And look, that's fine. I don't mind talking about it or defending it. I will still double down on the Jameis Winston era being over. And the reason why I say that is somebody just passed me on the bike and nodded at me and as if they agree with me. And so here's the thing, though, is Jameis Winston, the Saints pursued Deshaun Watson. Look, one of the biggest PR nightmares in recent NFL history, the Saints went all in and chased Deshaun Watson and put Jameis Winston on ice. They then re-signed Jameis Winston when they had no other options. They said he's the guy. He's the starter. There's no competition. We moved Taysom to tight end. Andy's the backup. Jameis is the guy. Jameis started. Jameis got injured. Jameis is now healthy. And Dennis Allen says he's healthy, and this is a football decision. So you chased Deshaun Watson and didn't want Jameis. He was your plan B. And now Jameis is healthy, and you've said it's a football decision. Andy Dalton's the starter.
Yeah, smart. If
you have to go back to Jameis Winston, you have hit rock bottom. And to me,
I disagree. I think Dennis Allen thinks what I'm thinking. Dalton's playing. He's fully healthy, and he's doing a good job. Jameis Winston is healed up and could play if we didn't have Andy Dalton. Why play him? If Andy Dalton starts playing just bad football, we'll yank him and put Jameis in, and then Jameis may take us somewhere at that point, or maybe he doesn't. I totally disagree with that. That isn't like hitting rock. This is all the gloom and doom, the end of the era, the season's done. Y'all, the sports media, I swear, that's maybe why I got out of sports talk, because it's so
let me just say
insane. Insane.
Just hypothetical here, okay? If Andy Dalton, if they have another game, I think this game Sunday is going to be a shootout. It's going to be like Seattle. It's going to be like Cincinnati. I think that the teams are going to light up the scoreboard. If the Saints lose, okay, and let's just say they lose 35-32, okay, and they're 2-6. And then Baltimore comes in, and Lamar Jackson looked awesome last night. The Ravens, like you said, have got it together a little bit.
Yeah, when they get to 2-7, the season's over.
Well, that's what I mean. And then do you say, okay, you know what? Andy's turning the ball over too much. Jameis, you're the dude. 2-7. Come on in, bro. Come on.
Well, it doesn't matter at that point. I'm talking about if they go 2-1, 3-0, and then Andy Dalton has a bad game and they're still in it, then Jameis Winston goes in and play. I mean, Dennis Allen knows what we know. They're the same. They're no different. They just do things differently.
He thinks Andy's a little bit better. But here's the thing.
Right now, he thinks Andy Dalton's a little bit better. You're right. Right now, he does. So, hang on a second. We've beaten this horse into the ground. This is exactly probably why I got out of sports talk to begin with. Fletcher, hang on. We're coming right back because I want to ask you about Honey Badger, all kind of different stuff, too, plus a new restaurant.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. In about 30 minutes, Frank Brigtsen will join us from his Uptown restaurant. Fletcher Mackel's with us right now from Channel 6 Sports. Hey, Fletch, have you been to Louisiana Cafe yet?
I have not.
Oh, you know about it?
I do not. Enlighten me.
Yeah, the Riley Foods Group, Louisiana Tea, and Blue Plate Mayonnaise and all that. They have like a breakfast and lunch joint. I think it's might be closed like Sunday and Monday. I think it's like Tuesday through Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And they go to like maybe 3 in the afternoon. I'm trying to pull it up right now and see. Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's breakfast and lunch served all day. You can get a burger at 7 a.m. You can get pancakes at 2:45 in the afternoon. It's downtown, like Girard and Magazine, I think.
Okay, cool. It's not far from
Louisiana Cafe.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my mommy there. Maybe I'll text you. You bring your mommy. We can have like a lakefront Gene Gordon school reunion kind of thing.
There you go. I did grow up right down the street from Gene Gordon on Chatham Drive.
Well, that was my reference. I grew up down the street the other way, but I don't think either one of us went to Gene Gordon.
We did not. No, at least I know I didn't.
Let's see. I don't think you're old enough. Maybe you're old enough. You're about 48, right?
Yep.
You should know the guys who own the Texaco. His first name, 3 letters.
I don't remember.
Val's Texaco? You don't remember Val's Texaco?
No, I remember they had a Texaco right there on the corner of like Robert E. Lee or Leon T. Simon in Paris. I remember they had a Shell and a Texaco. And I remember the Shell was like full service way past when full service was something.
Yeah, Johnny was there doing full service. That was I forget who owned the Shell. The Exxon was across the street, and the Texaco was by Gene Gordon, right in the bend in, where Leon C. Simon starts. Right in your hood, Fletch.
It was, yeah, but I apologize. I don't know the owners' names of those places.
Fletcher's not a real New Orleans, and I can't remember any. If I think about it, I could probably come up with the Shell and the Exxon. Those were the olden days, Fletch. You knew everybody in the neighborhood. It took a village to raise the kids, all that stuff. Now these young kids, I just don't know.
Yeah, it's it's a different world we live in now.
It is.
I think everything just kind of morphs and changes. I try not to be one of those people that are like, back in, oh yeah, it was better here. I try to adjust and adapt and understand and be one of those old curmudgeon-y types.
Yeah, me too. I try to do that. Fletcher Mackel's with us from Channel 6. Fletcher, he was great in Arizona, was great in Texas, great in Kansas City. I don't think any of those teams didn't want him. It's just cap and different things and other players available. How is the homecoming of Tyrann Mathieu going so wrong? He's not like, he's lost a step, he's a little off. He's like a liability right now. He's not, instead of him being a strength and a playmaker and a ball hawk, he hadn't gone down to, we're just not seeing that. We're seeing him as a liability.
He's a liability. There's no other way of saying it. It's
not believable.
Yeah, it's crazy. Look, I thought that the best years were behind him, that he was never going to be the three-time all-pro player that he was with Kansas City. And let me say this, maybe if they'd have gotten one more great year, like a little bit of tread left on the tires, but I didn't think he was going to be. Look, Malcolm Jenkins was a Pro Bowl player and a Super Bowl champion in Philly. He was a really good player here. He hit his stride in Philadelphia, and people don't understand how good he was on this defense the last few years. That people didn't like his politics or,
I thought you were going to get Malcolm Jenkins last few years with the Saints out of Honey Badger.
So did I. I thought Malcolm Jenkins, people forget how productive and good he was. Look, he wasn't great anymore, but he was a really good player.
No, the first, in September of his second time back with the Saints, he wasn't good. And then since then, he's been phenomenal. You're right.
That's right. And here's the thing. People don't understand how good he played. Like 100% of the snaps, he moved guys in position. He was getting after the quarterback in the backfield. He could still drop in coverage. Was he a Pro Bowl player anymore? No, but he was an above-average starter and a high IQ elite.
No, and he helped out this team a lot.
And here's the thing, and it gets back to this too. Marcus Williams was a nice player who was a rangy free safety. Not a great tackler, but he could cover a lot of ground sideline to sideline. And if balls went up, he could either bat them or grab them. And again, was he hitting his prime maybe like he is now with the Ravens? No, but he was, I think we took for granted. And look, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was also an elite slot guy.
Yeah, they should have never gotten rid of him. He should be playing right now, and you just lose him at the end of the year.
Right. So you went
locker room disruption. That's all nonsense. Michael Thomas is a locker room disruption. But anyway.
Malcolm to Tyrann has been a massive fall off. Marcus Williams to Marcus May has been a massive fall off.
You're right. Hey, Fletch, wait. We got about 30 seconds. Tulane, Willie Fritz, but bye week. But I think Tulsa when they come back?
Yeah, Tulsa when they come back, then 2 at home against UCF.
That's a tough game.
UCF's going to be a real tough one. Then SMU, and then they close the year on Black Friday at Cincinnati.
And that could that's a couple of top 25 teams that could decide everything for the Wave. That's going to be a ESPN. That's going to be a nationally televised great game, the Tulane-Cincinnati game.
I agree. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, wow. I found 30 more seconds. Wink, wink. LSU, Brian Kelly doing all the right things. I thought the spread would be somewhere around a touchdown. It's 14.5. That they're looking at how Tennessee handled LSU. They're thinking Alabama's going to do the same.
I would say that's what I think too, but I still think LSU can finish 3-1 down the stretch, at worst 2-2, because I think Arkansas and A&M are toss-ups that they should win or could win. And here's the thing: if they go 9-3, that's a remarkable first year.
It really is.
8-4 is a really good first year for Brian Kelly. If he gets to 9-3, that's awesome in year one.
Yep. 10 seconds left. The Pelicans tonight in Phoenix. Boy, what a great win with 8 players in double figures beating the Mavs with 3 starters out. Amazing.
Yeah, and look, I think the Pelicans are going to be there all season long. That game proved a lot to me that they have a ton of depth.
Yep.
So they're going to be there all season.
Yeah, I was like the posse, Perry Clark. Crazy. All right, Fletch, you're the man. Finish your walk around Bayou St. John in Mid-City.
I'm going to do just that.
There's Fletcher Mackel. Yeah, that's him right by the American Can Company. Wave to him, honk the horn. Corey Johnson with you, 5 o'clock powwow.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
I feel personally, when I walk around on the grounds, that it's sacred ground. It's healing. Just the environment is healing. Just being here makes one feel like that I can let go. I can let go of the worry. I can let go of the stress that I've been carrying around for a long time. We don't shame anybody. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone. Just that alone really is the foundation on which everything else that we do is done.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Pow, zap, bang, boom. Do they say fat man? That's not very nice. Fat man, wow. That's not really cool. Sounds like fat man. No. Where's Drew Brees when you need him? Yeah, you right, Mr. Drew Brees. Thank you for that introduction. Corey Johnson back at you for the 5 o'clock Power Hour on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Thanks for checking us out on the radio if that's what you're doing. Thanks for checking us out on the television set if that's what you're doing. Maybe it's live streaming via our website, CoreyTalks.com. We're on YouTube the last few months. Click to subscribe our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. Click to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's a free deal. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I love this very time of the week because it is a little bit after 5 o'clock for most folks. 100% of the work week in the books. And for most folks, 100% of the weekend smack dab in front of you. I like this little limbo period right now. Smell the roses. We do it by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. Yabba dabba do. That's right. We blow the 5 o'clock whistle. 5 o'clock whistle, appropriately brought to you by Super Discount Store in Chalmette. You know the drill. Super Discount Store in Chalmette has the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 6 blocks north of Judge Perez, 6 minutes off the I-10 via I-510 to Paris Road. Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Super Discount Store!
Correctamundo. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I like getting this guy on the program every week. Positive news. I said it last hour. It's like a coach for the Saints or LSU. You know, I wish we kept score like those schools do with their sports programs, because when LSU or the Saints or the Pelicans or Tulane or whoever it might be, they're not performing. We 86 the coach, the GM, and got to start competing again. I wish we had a scorecard for New Orleans because we'd vote differently. We'd try to bring in some people that can move the needle so we could compete against the Atlantas, Dallases, and Houstons of the world. And, of course, even the Austin and Nashvilles of the world. Michael Hecht joins us on the program. Michael Hecht with Greater New Orleans Inc. What up, Miguel?
What's up, KJ? How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. I got the stat of the day for you that just blew my doors off when I thunk about it for a second. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Harris County, you know, where the Houston, one of the many counties that make up Metro Houston. Harris County has more people than the state of Louisiana.
Yeah. Yep.
Harris County, just the county, has more people than the state of Louisiana. I don't see how that's physically possible. Like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Ellick, Monroe, Shreveport, every little town, Breaux Bridge, Bunkie, New Iberia, Jeanerette, everyone. Harris County, Houston has more people. That's mind-blowing, mind-boggling, Michael.
Yeah, it is. Also considering that you really don't think about Houston in terms of having Hong Kong-like density, do you? You know,
crazy.
So it's interesting, but they do, and I think it's just important to keep pointing that out, that Louisiana needs to do everything it can to be attracting population. You know, we're in a situation like Ireland. There's been a massive diaspora of our people for generations, and we got to be making every effort, creating every condition to attract people and companies and capital back. And so, you know, when elected leaders say, if you don't like Louisiana, you can go somewhere else, I'm like, bro, they already did.
Yeah, no, exactly. Don't let the door hit you on the back. We said that 30 years ago in the 80s and 90s. It's long past. Michael, you know, the Houston, I talk about an interstate loop in New Orleans all the time. Houston has the 610 since the 70s. And we had a chance to do it, and we never did. I mean, there's the outlying edges of a loop right now with I-510, I-310, I-49 on the West Bank, I-10. You could put the Earhart Expressway through the middle, Florida Avenue Expressway the opposite direction through the middle. Houston has the 610. It's about 40 miles around, maybe 60. Then there's 8, the bigger loop, 8 that's outside the 610. That's a few hundred miles around, maybe 200 miles. Now they're building a super loop beyond that that's going to be hundreds of miles around the city. It's just mind-blowing. They're always growing. They're like Latrim. Houston and Dallas and Atlanta are like Latrim, just continuous
I was going to say they're like China. Saying they're like Latrim is much nicer of a
well they're like Latrim with no culture.
Yeah, which would not be Latrim.
No, Latrim's a culture of innovation. No, it's J.M. LaPere,
which would be China.
Yep. Anyway, I'll get off of Houston.
But no, the point you're raising, which is an important one, is how are they able to make these long-term plans and sustain them? Because that's what this is. That's what China does. It's what Singapore does. It's what, you know, Houston and Dallas.
The answer is real easy, but you want to know the answer? It's easy. The business community leads in Houston, not the politics. And in Louisiana and New Orleans, politics lead and the business community second. The business community is the restaurant, the chef, the food, all of it. The politician, he should be opening the door and parking the car. That's it. It's the opposite in Louisiana and New Orleans, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it's all, but that's, I'm going to go one step deeper, Corey. It's not because of just the political leadership. It's because of the system that creates leaders for those incentives. And if you look at the cities in Texas as a good example, let's say Dallas, they've got a city manager system. San Antonio's got a city manager system. And that creates fundamental different incentives and a different planning horizon.
It's more black and white. It's like a plan. It's mechanical. It's a business. It's not politics and characters and personality. It's a business. It's different. I don't know how we change that mentality. We like characters. We like joking around. We think if we do stuff right, we're going to lose Mardi Gras and hunting and fishing and the festivals. I don't know what. We won't be able to walk with a drink in the quarter. I don't know what people think if we change. It's insane. All right. I'm done. We got a rapid fire, Michael. Sorry about the Harris County thing. That got us way off course.
It happens. I know it happens, Corey.
All right. You ready for rapid fire rounds?
Let's do it.
Hey, tell us real quick about this, the youth grants for the NOLA Coalition, what that's all about, like $1 million, huh?
Yeah, it's the first $1 million that we've given out. We said that when we started the NOLA Coalition, which is now up to well over 450 organizations, that we were going to not only create safer streets today, but invest in programs to create safer streets tomorrow. And so we've now raised over $3.5 million, over $2.5 for the first year. And the first $1 million has just gone out and a set of grants to 23 organizations around the city.
Wow.
You know, a range of ones you've heard of, like STEM NOLA, to up-and-coming ones like Black Man Rising. But all of these are youth mentoring organizations meant to give kids a chance to, you know, become their better selves and make better choices. So we're excited to get this money out the door in partnership with United Way.
And Michael, just breaking news about an hour ago, the mayor pays back that $29,000 in flight upgrades. But I want to give the mayor credit for something else. I like the macro stuff of the $200 million of that federal money. I like the big picture, police and, you know, blight, and putting $100 million away. I like that.
Yeah, you know, here's what I'll tell you about that stuff.
Need details.
Is that the overall categories are great. And the debate's going to come around the use of one-time funds, the ARPA funds, for recurring expenses like healthcare. And there are going to be people who are going to say that a better way to do some of that is through the significant surpluses we have in our budget, which is recurring revenue, because we've got such a deficit of staff. We're down about 1,000 people in city government. So that gives us tens of millions to spend on these recurring expenses. So the good news is that the categories are right and the money is there. We just got to figure out, you know, how to allocate it intelligently.
Hey, Michael, I'm going to try to not yap so much. Next week, let's do Bio District and the new port terminal in Violet, the changes that were made where everyone's on board now.
All right, talk to your producer and say that if you start talking about this loop thing, he's just going to tase you.
Yeah, I like that.
Let me talk.
You know, taser and
you're going to wake up, with a slight burn in a pool of your own urine, saying that Hecht guy is still talking.
Exactly.
The Port of New Orleans
Thanks,
is
Michael.
the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
A Fantasy Friday edition of the program continues. Corey Johnson with you all the way till 6 o'clock. Yeah, you right. Boy, Nancy Pelosi's husband, huh? Crazy last night. Criminal breaks into the house in San Francisco. And I guess Nancy Pelosi was not at the residence. Her 82-year-old husband was, and this criminal attacked him with a hammer. Both had to be hospitalized. Nancy Pelosi's husband's supposed to be fine, have a full recovery. The 42-year-old's going to jail, obviously. Just crazy. I mean, Scalise shot a few years back. This is crazy. Can't have this in politics. Hey, the mayor pays back the $29,000 in flight upgrades, and not from campaign money. Personal money, but I don't know where it came from. But, hey, give credit to the mayor. She paid back the money. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Let's go to the Riverbend section of the Carrollton neighborhood, uptown New Orleans, about a block and a half from where Carrollton and St. Charles intersect, right off of Leek Avenue, a.k.a. River Road, Dante Street to be specific. It's Brigtsen's restaurant. Frank Brigtsen joins us again. Hey, Frank.
Corey, how are you, sir? Happy Friday.
Yeah, you right. I'm doing well, Frank. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you.
You holding down the fort in the Riverbend area?
Absolutely.
You know, Brigtsen's is, y'all are kind of jammed up in that corner up there, but it's pretty convenient for a lot of folks, really. If you can get to Causeway and River Road, you're about 5 minutes from Brigtsen's. Folks in Uptown, Mid-City, real easy to get to Brigtsen's. If only the ferry was running at Carrollton and St. Charles Avenue. Get some West Bankers.
We get all those guests from Wagaman.
Exactly. Instead, they can just UEP Longbridge it. No, it's a really cool, iconic neighborhood and a great location.
We love it, Corey. We really do. We're tucked away in our little corner, and like you say, it is accessible from everywhere in the city. And we have plenty of parking in Dante Village Shopping Center, a lot of street parking. So none of that's an issue. And we just love our little building.
Yep, little Creole cottage. 35 plus years, right?
Yep, 36 years. We'll hit 37 next March.
That's amazing.
It is, and we're very grateful for every single bit of it. To be doing what we're doing after all this time, it's just a beautiful thing.
Hey, Frank, pretend we don't know each other. I'm on a plane. Oh, what's Brigtsen's all about? What would you say? What's the little thing you're doing? What do you do? What's Brigtsen's?
Right. Well, I tell first-time visitors to Brigtsen's, Corey, that they should have a taste of the butternut shrimp bisque, and then they'll understand Brigtsen's.
Why? What's that one soup?
I don't know. It's a very simple set of ingredients in the bisque, but once you taste it, you realize, oh my gosh, why haven't I had this before? Because it just makes sense. And it's a good year-round soup too. We think of butternut squash as a winter squash, but we get a lot of them here locally in the summer from the farmers market. The fresher they are, the better. We do notice that difference too. But from there, you can really go in so many different directions. I think our entree menu is very diverse. Whether you want meat or fish, whatever it might be, we got a lot of selections. Shrimp, of course, is really at its peak right now. We're in the peak of white shrimp season. The shrimp are huge. They're running about 10 to the pound. So there's a shrimp bisque, butternut shrimp bisque. There's barbecue shrimp, and there's also shrimp remoulade, which we sold so many last night we ran out.
Wow. Frank Brigtsen's with us from his restaurant. Hey, Frank, before we continue, backing up a second, what's the difference? But what's a bisque? Why isn't that just a soup or a gumbo or something? What's a bisque?
That's a great question, and some people are confused by it. You'll see, for instance, on a menu, crab and corn bisque, but that's not a bisque because it's not pureed. A bisque is a smooth puree, and
there'd be no corn. There'd be no corn pieces or shrimp or crawfish that you could physically see. You're saying
exactly. That's crab and corn soup.
Gotcha.
Which I love.
Gotcha.
I love, by the way.
The lobster bisque where you don't see any lobster tail, it's just like an orange liquid. That's a bisque.
Exactly. And what I love about a bisque is that you're building flavors. Like lobster bisque, that's based on a great lobster stock, and you will taste lobster for sure. That's the first thing you taste, but there's no lobster meat in it. It's all made from stock that's made with the lobster heads and the lobster bodies after the tail and all that is taken away.
Now, what would be wrong with having a bisque and adding, corn or shrimp in pieces to it? That wouldn't be right?
No, you could. I mean, you could make a bisque and then have something that I would call a garnish.
Sometimes you'll dump some lump crab meat on top of a cup of bisque, right?
Right. We do that. When we have them, we make, for instance, a chanterelle bisque, and we'll garnish that with a little bit of sautéed crab meat.
Wow.
But it's still a bisque because that's the way it's made. And I love making them as a chef because you're building flavors.
Yeah.
And, it's a lovely sort of challenge. How can you make this intense flavor without, having maybe the ingredient itself, or just combining it all into one puree? That's really a beautiful thing to me.
Let me ask you another soup question before we move on. What's the difference between soup and chowder? And why don't we have chowder down here? Besides, I guess it's maybe not that good. I don't know.
No, I love chowders. I think for a chowder, that to me implies diced potatoes and probably a little bit of bacon.
Gotcha.
But it's the diced potatoes to me that really make it a chowder.
Do French not make chowders? Do French not?
I've never seen it in French cuisine.
That's probably why we don't have chowder.
Yeah, I believe it's a New England thing, and you'll also see it in Great Britain and the UK.
Yep.
Fish chowder.
Yep, with potatoes. All right, let's get back on line. Frank Brigtsen's with us. Speaking of, what seafood did the purveyor have that was best available today?
We have beautiful speckled trout. That's what really shines during the fall months. The speckled trout's from North Carolina, and it comes in beautifully fresh, translucent, really, really nice. And this run will last for a couple of months in the fall. So we have pan-fried speckled trout with roasted pecans and Meunier sauce. And that dish is, of course, extremely popular. I had a customer say last night, he stopped me to tell me that this was the best Meunier sauce he's ever had. And that made me feel so good because to me, you know, my Meunier, as well as others in the city, that really represents New Orleans. You know, we don't do it in the classic French way all the time. Mine is not classic French. It's my variation that I created. And to have him say that just really warmed my heart because I want to represent what's best in New Orleans cuisine.
Frank Brigtsen's with us from his restaurant up in the Riverbend section of New Orleans. What other fish you got going, Frank?
We have striped bass is our broil fish, and that's topped with a crab crust, served with a lemon crab sauce that's made with a very rich crab stock, and that's garnished with asparagus, mushrooms, and leeks. That's one of our most popular dishes overall. And then the tuna's running really well, too. We made a little bit of a change on that, not much. The tuna is blackened, a nice thick tuna steak, blackened with smoked corn sauce. And we have been doing a red bean salsa. Now I use these very small Salvadoran red beans, but my store was out, so I switched to black beans, and we like it even better. So
wow.
Black bean salsa and a roasted red pepper sour cream drizzled over the top, like a pimento sour cream. That dish never gets old. We just love it.
Still have a filet with a great gravy or sauce, still have the pork chop, still have the chicken?
Yes, we do. We have all that, and the beef is sold really well this week. A 6-ounce filet of certified Angus beef, and that's served with a tasso marchand du vin sauce.
Wow.
Really a classic French sauce, but I use tasso instead of ham. I use Chef Paul's tasso in there, and we garnish that with fried shallot rings, like little onion rings. That's a killer dish. Mashed potatoes, can't beat that.
Yep.
The pork chop's been selling really well. We're doing our fall preparation on that, which is a pan-roasted pork chop with an apple cider pan gravy. We make this what we call an apple cider base, it doesn't look like much, but we kind of braise the pork chop with it, like a quick braise. Takes about 12 minutes. And this sauce reduces down to its thick and almost like a demi-glace.
Wow.
And it has this deep, deep pork and apple flavor. Oh, my goodness sakes. And we serve that with what we call sweet potato hash, which is diced sweet potatoes roasted in the oven with some onions and leeks.
Wow. Too good. And the chicken, airline chicken breast?
Yeah, this is, I'm glad you brought up the chicken. This is a really, really good product. It's Bell & Evans brand, all natural, organic chicken. And we serve the airline breast, which is a boneless breast with the skin on and the drumette on. And the first thing we do is sear the skin side so it's nice and crispy, and pan roast that in the oven to order. It's not pre-cooked. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes, and it comes out so juicy, so tender. And we serve that with Papa Tom's stone ground grits from Baton Rouge and an andouille pan gravy made with brown roux. That's a killer dish. I take that one home a lot.
Now, someone like you and what y'all do at Brigtsen's, you could have just a plain chicken breast, and with that sauce or gravy, it would probably be a pretty good dish. The one with the drumette, the airline chicken breast with that skin still on, how much flavor does it get jacked up with that fatty skin still on the chicken breast compared to not having it? Plus the way you said you guys crisp it up to start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's
flavor,
where the flavor is really.
Yeah.
I was working the grill station last night, and I had seared the chicken and turned it over, getting ready to go in the oven with it. And I told my sauté chef, Olivia, I just want to rip that skin off and eat it right now.
Yep. No, I'm telling you.
It was all brown and crispy like a crackling. Oh, my goodness sakes. I mean, so much flavor. You know, when you eat fried chicken, you know, the skin really adds a lot.
Yep.
It kind of gets combined with the crispy batter. But the crispy skin is where it's at.
Hey, Frank, any openings tonight at the restaurant?
We are booked for the night, Corey. I just checked with Mara, and she was on the phone having to turn someone down for the night. But think about next week. Also happening next week on Wednesday of next week, we're going to start taking orders for our Thanksgiving takeout menu. We finalized that menu today. And the offerings are butternut shrimp bisque by the quart, or filet gumbo or chicken andouille by the quart. And then our side dishes this year will be mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, sweet potato dirty rice. And then for dessert, pecan pie or sweet potato pecan pie. And also, of course, caramel sauce by the pint. You could just get that to put in some ice cream.
So if somebody at home's taking care of the turkey or having the protein, steaks or whatever, you've got all the sides and the desserts and everything.
Yeah, we got everything to go with it. A starter with the super gumbo, side dishes. You may cook the bird yourself. You may buy that from someone else, and then you're all set, ready to go.
Exactly. Just heat and eat. Frank, always a pleasure, brother. Love having you on the program.
Thank you for the opportunity, Corey. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. We love you, New Orleans.
Yeah, you're right. That's Frank Brigtsen from his world-famous restaurant on Dante Street. The phone number over there is 861-7610. Why don't you put that in your phone? 861-7610. You know what I love about Brigtsen's is, I mean, it's not inexpensive, but it's not expensive either. It could be more pricey than it is. You'll be shocked how moderately priced it is for what you're getting. 861-7610 is the phone number at Brigtsen's, Tuesday through Saturday night. Brigtsen's restaurant in the Riverbend. You won't be disappointed with that place. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning. You like your dry cleaner? I guess stick with them. If you're tired of your dry cleaner, you're looking to experience the best, that would be Young's Dry Cleaning. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations all over the metro area. A New Orleans institution since 1940. Find them online, youngsdrycleaning.com. Nancy Pelosi's husband, a vicious attack last night, San Francisco home. Some criminal with a hammer comes in. He's 82. They went at it. But police were actually nearby and luckily saved Nancy Pelosi's husband's life. I mean, this attack when they were actually after Pelosi, Scalise getting shot at a baseball game a few years ago, just politics are over the top when citizens are going after politicians. That's how this partisan politics, this just constant headbutting, this if a Republican does anything with a Democrat or if a Democrat does anything with a Republican, they're a sellout. This just the other side's the enemy. The other side's weak. The other side, it's okay to hate the other side. It's okay to hate the other side. That's the problem. That's a major problem. Hey, the mayor, LaToya, the destroyer, Cantrell, pays back the $29,000 plus in flight upgrades to the city of New Orleans. And she says it did not come out of her campaign. Interesting. I wonder where it came from. I can't see the mayor, her own money, coming up with that. That's 18% of her annual salary. I wonder where she got the money from. I'll tell you this much. Good for the mayor. Said she was going to do it, followed through on that. Hopefully there are no more trips like that. But she went to Amsterdam, first class, just a few weeks ago. That wasn't part of the $29,000. Maybe she's going to, pay that in a few weeks. I don't know how it's going to work, what the plan is. Hey, every day this program on radio, on television, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. We're on YouTube. Spread the word. Click to subscribe, our YouTube channel, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. It's always brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex on the car corner, Williams Boulevard and I-10 in Canberra, the #1 Ford dealership in the region. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 Lincoln dealership in the region. I can go on, all kind of reasons why. 3 main reasons: inventory, price, and service.
inventory. They got what you're looking for in stock. It's Lamarck Ford, Lamarck Lincoln. You know it's priced right and remarkable service. Ronnie owns the Mercedes-Benz dealership of Mobile, Alabama. He knows all about service. Lamarck Lincoln, Lamarck Ford, part of the Lamarck Automotive Complex on the car corner, Williams Boulevard and I-10 in Kenner, right on the corner, right on the price. And now, Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
If you or a loved one are suffering from Parkinson's disease, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
People started coming to us and asking for help for things other than addiction. We have a Parkinson's patient here. He comes in once a month and gets his little booster because that's what you have to do. In 2 hours after he started, his tremors in his hands stopped. So he said, Paula, your major marketing challenge is that it's too good to be true. But it's true. It truly is true. We can't say that all of these things have a cure, but these things happen and they're real.
Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
Make the call, 504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center, springfieldwellnesscenter.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart,
safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. With this fantastic weather we're having, it really is time to paint. Now, we're going to get some rain overnight and a little rain tomorrow. Tomorrow's the perfect day to go to one of the 7 Helm paint and decorating locations while it's raining and figure out what you're going to do. What paint you're going to use, what color, the primer, get your brushes, caulk, whatever you need. Sandpaper, scrapers, whatever. Helm Paint and Decorating has everything you need to paint and to do it right. Do it once, do it right. Get that paint job done quickly. Yeah, when you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, you go to Helm. They'll steer you in the right direction. Now, even with it raining tomorrow, go get all your supplies. And then Sunday and all next week, like Sunday through next Thursday, 60s and 70s. We won't hit 80. We probably won't get to the 50s. Just ridiculously pleasant weather. 60s and 70s, Sunday through Thursday. 5 great weather days. Go get your supplies tomorrow at Helm Paint and Decorating. 7 locations. Or go online, pick out your Benjamin Moore colors, call Helm Paint, and they'll deliver it to you within 2 hours. Helm Paint and Decorating. Corey Johnson with you, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. 5 o'clock power hour. Brought to you by Fury's Restaurant in Metairie this afternoon. Fury's Restaurant's open till 9. Onion rings, gumbo, turtle soup. That's what you start with. Speckled trout, snapper, flounder. That's what you finish with. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, open till 9 p.m. tonight. You can roll in there like 8:30, 8:45. Manny and John don't matter. They'll take care of you. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, so good. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, some rain expected overnight into tomorrow. But like I said, Sunday through Thursday, 5 straight days of back to killer weather, 60s and 70s. Yeah, you right. Nancy Pelosi's husband, a home attack at Nancy Pelosi's house in San Francisco. The criminal carrying a hammer thought Pelosi was there, was going after her. The husband was there. He attacked the husband. Police were somehow nearby and stopped this guy before he could possibly kill Mr. Pelosi, but both were hospitalized. Pelosi's supposed to have a full recovery. Just insanity. Insanity. The mayor pays back $29,000 in flight upgrades. Yeah. Mayor LaToya, the Destroyer Cantrell. $29,000 in flight upgrades. And according to Montano, the CAO, Gilbert Montano, not campaign funds. I figured it was going to be a, Walter Reed, John Ilario using campaign funds for personal use. I just can't see this mayor paying $30K almost out of her own pocket. There had to be someone donating the money or something. We'll find out where the money came from. The mayor has more to pay back, though. The $29,000 covered, I think, everything up to the Amsterdam trip a few weeks ago. A 2-day trip, a 2-day junket to Amsterdam. I mean, no one on planet Earth does that. Not even rich or wealthy. Just the jet lag alone will get you. 2-day junket to Amsterdam. She flew first class. So maybe the mayor is going to tap back into whatever fund she put together. That's all I can assume. Someone's paying for this, and it ain't the mayor. But, hey, that's the B part. Where'd the money come from? The A part? I applaud the mayor. She paid back the $29,000 to the city in flight upgrades. And that's a good thing. Now, next is seeing that continues. And then what about the Pontalba apartment? Got to be out of there, right? Or start paying rent. And that's not even right, because it's like, who pays rent next month? Helena Moreno wants to move in because she's a council person. Month after that, it's Oliver Thomas. Maybe a department head wants some time at the city-owned Pontalba. That's why it's not for personal use. It's for official city business only, not the mayor deciding to spend a few months there for free, like since December of last year, living there. Kind of crazy. But no, that's good. That's good news. The mayor paying back the money. Thanks for finding us on the radio. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. We go to 5:30 every day on TV, Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333. Maybe you're checking us out via live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. Maybe you're checking us out on YouTube. We started that up a few months ago. Click to subscribe, our YouTube channel. Thanks for checking us out. Hey, tonight, how about some outdoor dining with this ridiculously nice weather? How about Lebanon's Cafe, under the green awning, under the oak trees on the streetcar line? Outdoor dining tonight for dinner, lamb chop, shish kebab, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. Outdoor dining at Lebanon's Cafe.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. when you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Hey, on the causeway right now, beeline into the North Shore. Why don't you fire in a Friday night to-go order at Trey Yen? Dinner problem solved. Mom, dad, the kids, granny, everyone's happy with some Trey Yen. Don't forget the Tung Cho sauce. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Dine in. Foot of the causeway for you North Shore folks. Just 25 short minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center, you South Shore folks. I mean, you're in the car with friends or family. That 25 minutes goes by quicker than you could imagine. It's painless. I do it like once a week just to go get some great killer Chinese gourmet, not food, Chinese cuisine, Trey Yen in Mandeville. By the way, that phone number, if you want to fire in a to-go order, 626-4476. 626-4476. It's that Mandeville area code, 985. 626-4476. Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. So good. Tung Cho sauce. Yummy. Tung Cho sauce on anything is yummy. How about the mayor, Latoya, the destroyer, Cantrell, paying back the $29,000 in flight upgrades and from a personal account, not from campaign funds, according to Gilbert Montano, the CAO, City of New Orleans. Good going, Latoya, the destroyer. Boy, Nancy Pelosi's husband, a hammer attack at their house. How do you get in Nancy Pelosi's house?
You know, how do you bust in Nancy Pelosi's house in San Francisco? Can't be just some little standalone shack. And then her 82-year-old husband has to fight off some loser until the police come, which came quickly. This 42-year-old arrested. Going to be charged with a bunch of felonies. The investigation continues. It was funny. I snapped a photo of it. I might post it on Twitter. It was a 10:30 a.m. press conference in San Francisco. The police chief started talking at 10:29, like a minute before, 30 seconds before. You know, we're kind of used to that mañana attitude around here, you know? 30 minutes later. Hey, you heading home right now from work? Rouse's Markets, there's one on the way, maybe 2 or 3 on the way. Get all the supplies you need for the weekend at your neighborhood Rouse's Market. Tastes like home. Hey, Blue Boy, you're the man, 93.9 FM New Orleans. Have a great weekend, everyone. Monday.